Hello everyone, you can join our Telegram group in the description section for instant cryptocurrency news, and you can use the links to invest. Shiba Inu coin holders, there's a slew of significant news this week that you won't want to miss. Let's dive right into it. Starting with the Kobayashi letter, this week's key events include a lot of housing-related data. On Tuesday, we'll see housing starts data along with building permits. On Thursday, there's existing home sales data. As we all know, the housing market is currently quite expensive, making it costly not only to own a home and make mortgage payments but also to secure loans for home purchases. Given this, it wouldn't be surprising if this week's data trends bearish. Moving on to Wednesday, we have the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision, which includes a Fed press conference. We're all familiar with how Jerome Powell's statements can move markets significantly. Additionally, on Thursday, there's jobless claims data, making it quite a significant news week. Now, let's talk about the broader context. Bitcoin has been on a decade-long bull run. If we look at the monthly charts, we can see that Bitcoin has been steadily climbing since its inception. Of course, there have been corrections and bear markets along the way, but the overall trend has been bullish. However, when we look at traditional stock indices like the S&P 500 or the Nasdaq, they have never experienced events like the housing crash or major corrections. Bitcoin and Shiba Inu, for that matter, haven't been around long enough to go through such events either. So, why does this matter? It ties into concerns about student loan debt and a potential credit event on the horizon. Currently, there's a record $17.1 trillion in household debt, with $12 trillion in mortgages, $1.6 trillion in auto loans, $1.6 trillion in student loans, and $1 trillion in credit card debt. This is a concerning situation, especially when you consider that inflation hasn't significantly slowed down consumer spending, and savings are dwindling. People are increasingly using credit cards to make purchases, and this raises alarm bells. If there's a credit event or a significant economic downturn, it could lead to a crash similar to the housing market crash, with the stock market potentially plummeting by 50%, 60%, 70%, or even 80%. In such a scenario, it's essential to consider what might happen to assets like Shiba Inu and Bitcoin. While some are calling for Bitcoin to drop to $10,000 or even less in the long term, it's hard to predict. The government may find ways to delay these issues, but eventually, something will give, impacting both the stock and crypto markets. On a more optimistic note, some speculate about a divergence or decoupling between the stock market and the crypto market. This would mean that while the stock market declines, cryptocurrencies could surge. However, this is a challenging scenario to envision, as new investors often prioritize essentials like groceries and rent over crypto investments. In any case, the future remains uncertain, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on these matters in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next update.